everybody, welcome back to the Voice Messages from a Parisienne podcast. We are episode 10. We are at episode 10. Can we get just a snap? Because we got episode number 10 out here, you know. We are so excited. I have I have my second official guest on the podcast. I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming. We have talked about this for a very long time. She's finally on the podcast. This is Daphne, everybody. She's going to introduce herself in a little bit. Daphne, how do we know each other and who are you?
Who am I? First of all, I'm Daphne. I'm from Paris. I'm French. And I'm a musician, I'm a singer, songwriter, and a little bit of a producer. Depends on the day. But yeah, I do music for a living while I'm trying. And Anais and I met back in Miami in 6th grade in 2010.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So we met, at like orientation before the start.
Little kiddos.
Of school. So yeah, that's that.
Alright, lovely. So, I always ask guests questions. Well, I say guests as if I have like a lot of guests coming on the podcast, which you're just the second guests. Anyway, so, the question for this, which she just found out there was questions. What do you love about yourself?
That's a good question. I'm not really...
It's a great question.
I'm not in the best headspace these days to answer that kind of question.
But I'm sure there's stuff you love about yourself.
That I love. Maybe I like the fact that I'm pursuing this career, even though it's scary, and that I'm probably... That it's not sure, and it's nothing where I'm like, I'm gonna make a lot of money and have like, and buy a house, and I'm just like doing this thing that is probably going to get me nowhere. But I hope it does.
Oh, I'm sure it will. It will get you somewhere. You know, persistence and, you know, hard work and motivation. All, you know, make up for, no, what did I want to say? They all, like, are the key to, you know, success.
Just gotta work for it.
So you just gotta work for it.
Yeah, so I guess something I like about myself is
you're persistent.
Yeah, that I work for the things
persevere.
That I want.
Persistent, persevere.
I'd say that.
Exactly. She goes for it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Ever? From like anyone?
Well, or you can say right now or just
right
like
now. It has to be a song from Taylor Swift.
Of course.
Of course.
But
But which one? Because, like, her entire discography, I'd say. No, but...
Absolutely.
I don't know. Well, that's...
That's that. She doesn't know. But check out the whole discography of Taylor Swift if you're not familiar with it. We love Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I can't put a favorite song.
Yeah, I don't think
there's too
a lot
many.
of people can. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, if you listen to Taylor Swift...
we can't choose, we really can't.
We can't choose. I think from each album there's like a song that just stands out.
Yeah.
You know, because...
Do you want me to say my favorite song per album?
You can say per album, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Self-titled. I'm Only Me When I'm With You. Fearless. Probably The Way I Loved You. Speak Now. I don't know.
There's a lot of good ones in this one.
Yeah, so many good ones. I think Speak Now is my favorite album.
Speak One is a good album.
But if I had to say one song, maybe like Back to December. Classic. What's the next album though? Oh, it's Red.
Yeah, Red.
Red, it's All Too Well, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
The 10-minute version now.
10-minute version.
Then what do we have? I don't remember.
1989.
1989. Out of the Woods.
Out of the Woods.
Classical masterpiece.
Classical.
And then Reputation.
One of her best bridges, may I say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And Reputation.
Probably one of my favorite albums of Taylor Swift.
Well, it's my least favorite one.
You know, I listened to this little side note when I was in such a bad headspace, and when it came out, every day I was listening to it front to back. and I just, well, when I think about that album, I don't think about like, you know, the bad moments, but it's such like an empowering album, and it's like a very revengey kind of album, very like bad bitch era, you know, she's like, it's like dark.
It's her Reputation era.
It's a Reputation era, and I really like it. I think it really suits some of the days I've been living, you know.
Yeah, I like the whole vibe, and I like
it's
what
very
it stands
business girl, like power moves. You know, if the man was in Reputation, it like, you know.
Yeah, I like the whole vibe and the whole Reputation thing. I'm just not like a really big fan of all the songs.
I don't know a lot of people that, not a lot of people, but I'm like saying in general, they don't gravitate towards that album because that album is so different, like beat-wise, production-wise, like you have so many things. It was like, it's very, you know, and the other albums are more like pop, like calmer albums, you know, like
for sure.
Anyway, go on.
So I think my favorite from that one is Getaway Car.
True.
Then Lover.
Great album.
Lover, I think my favorite song is Cornelia Street.
Cornelia Street, great album.
And then
great song.
I have to admit I'm a bad Swiftie because I haven't listened to the last 2 albums that much.
Oh my god.
I've listened to them, but they
Folklore is...
Yeah, I've listened through all of them, and I listen to them occasionally. I just don't listen to them the same way, because it's like a whole freaking story and not like a song.
Yeah, it is. You don't listen...
So I feel like the whole album is like one song, but it's in a good way. In a good way.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I couldn't pick on those. Too many. It's too good.
You're right. Okay, and then I have, what's your favorite thing? What do you love about our friendship? What's one thing you like?
About our friendship?
About our friendship.
Oh, so many things.
Of course.
I'd say like one of the first things is that it's stuck.
Yeah, it did.
Through the years.
Exactly.
Even because like we had a time where we didn't speak for a couple years because I was back in France and you weren't.
Exactly.
But I just kind of like how we picked it off. Picked it up. It picked up where we left off.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have these types of friendships.
Yeah,
because obviously we started growing, we became teenagers, and there was a lot of things that happened in that time frame. But yeah, obviously I do like that because she is one of my oldest friends I've kept ever since I moved to Miami and came here. And you know, we've always made time to see each other when I come back for Christmas or the holidays.
Yeah, we see each other when you'd come back.
Yeah, exactly. I'll always make sure we see each other.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that we're now 23. You know, we're starting our careers. We graduated and everything. By the way, I'm still waiting for my diploma, but that's another story. You know, we're like, we make time for each other, and that's super important for like any type of friendship.
That's super important in friendship. Like we always make time. Yeah. Even if it's like not like twice a week.
Exactly.
We
just make time like here and there in a month. We keep each other up to the T. Yeah. We always do. You know, but yeah.
And we've always been like really supportive.
Yeah, we've always been really supportive
of
on everything we do. Yeah, absolutely.
I've been following your YouTube ever since the beginning.
She was actually the very first inspiration behind doing my YouTube channel. I reached out to Daphne because backstory. Daphne had a YouTube channel. She had like a beauty, lifestyle, music-oriented channel, and then she ended up, when she got into music, she started posting covers, which were very good covers.
They weren't.
Anyway.
They really weren't.
Yeah, they were. Anyway, I'm still waiting for that 10-minute version of All Too Well cover, but that's another story. Anyway, and she was like, this is what you need to do, this is how you gotta do this and that, and consistency and everything, and she really was kind of like my mentor. I feel like when you start something in life, and we'll get into this later, but it's important to have somebody that knows like how to do the thing you're doing so they can teach you and help you and guide you through what you're doing, and they can be like, okay, this is how I did it, you could do this way, etc. And you were really there for me when I started YouTube, and it's really cool that, she was like, oh, this is like...
And I was super into it, into helping, because I had no one to tell me how to do things when I started.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just kind of figured it out. It never really worked that well, but I liked doing it at the time. And I was like, yeah, so cool, my friend wants to do YouTube. I'm going to tell her everything.
And she did. She was my encyclopedia for YouTube, which is actually really cool. I had my own encyclopedia. And yeah, it turned out pretty well, I would say, for YouTube. We did pretty well. Then you stopped YouTube.
I had my time.
You had your time.
Yeah, I got really frustrated. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pull through it. I just felt frustrated because no one appreciated my content. Like
it kind of sucks when you're like such a small content creator, not such a small, but you're small, you're trying to grow, and then you see so many content creators nowadays that are like starting their own YouTube channel, and like within a day they have like 5,000 views or something, and you're out here like struggling with views because you put so much hard work into a video, and it gets like 80 views and that's it, and you're just like, what am I doing wrong that this person is doing correct? Like, do I have to change myself? Do I have to change my videos? Am I putting too much effort? Am I not? Like, is it not enjoyable? Because one of my favorite YouTubers I always talk about, Alicia Marie, she always says like the first minute of your video are like the most crucial.
Yeah.
And when people, there's like those 8 seconds of your video.
Because people log out of your video in seconds if they're not interested.
It's like super fast, and if people don't like it, then you're just gonna leave. And unless you have like really a good base of a community that watches every single of your video. But anyway, it really is difficult, and it can be frustrating because you want to make it out onto YouTube. I personally would like to grow more this channel, and it's complicated because you're just like...
Yeah, especially nowadays. I feel like it's so much harder to break out on YouTube.
It is.
But I used to be really frustrated because I put so much time and effort into my videos, and it didn't really work. Like, I had a couple hundred people watching, maybe, if I was lucky, but I always saw other people doing videos that I personally judged like not as good, that didn't put as much effort into like the idea of the video, the editing, the style of it, and they had so many views and so many fans, and I was really bitter about it. And it's not good, because I was jealous. It's not a good thing.
Yeah,
but I always thought like,
get toxic.
I was like, why them and not me? Like, they don't even reply to comments. They don't even care about their viewers, and they still like get so many fans. And I was like, I care about people. I put time into my stuff and nobody cares. Maybe I care too much.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that all these people that get so many views and so much attention, they're probably all thinking like, well, this video was crap. I'm still gonna upload it on YouTube. There goes like 5,000 views on their profile, and they all get sponsored, and they all have agent all of a sudden. And it's like, it can be really toxic, and I feel like social media in general brings out the worst in all of us.
Yeah, because we're always comparing.
We always want to compare. We always want more. We always want...
And even when you have like 500,000 views...
You're never satisfied. You're never going to be satisfied.
You always think that you will, but you're not.
Exactly, you're never. No.
You never will.
So, anyway, this is not the topic, but it kind of ties in with what we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
Me and Daphne, if you don't know what we're doing, by the way, all of our social medias, everything to find us, as always, is always in the down bar of wherever you're listening this on. But anyway, me and Daphne are, let's call it, we're entrepreneurs, we're hardcore entrepreneur, business women. We're trying to make our career. Our common point, our point in common, is that we're both working for ourselves.
Yes, we are.
We are passionate women who have projects, and we believe in our projects, so we want to work for ourselves. And, we believe in our projects because we also believe in ourselves, and we think it has potential. So, yeah. Unlike other people that do not work for themselves, we decided that we did not want to work for other people.
Fuck a 9 to 5.
Exactly, because we will never be 9 to 5. And we created our own stuff. So Daphne's into music, obviously.
Yes.
I will do an episode about this, but I have a magazine and
Which is a great magazine.
Thank you very much. I have a YouTube channel. Well, when you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on here, hello. But yeah, and it can be really difficult, especially us. We're young, you know, we finished our studies recently. We don't really have enough budget. Sure, we can have some contacts and everything like that, but it can be difficult to make our way into both the industries we are in, because you know the industry you're in is like super saturated. Mine is like super big, and there's
like all the creative industries.
The creative industries are super saturated.
And people are mean.
Yeah, people are mean.
They don't want to share.
Exactly. People don't want to share.
I get it.
It's like a cult. It's like if you once you enter something, like you're in. You know, you got all the recipes, you got all the secrets. But if you're not in, you have to find your way in, and that's where it's like hard. So yeah, we're like 23 years old. She's released songs. I've released magazines.
Yeah.
Online and one paper. And yeah, how do we feel about it? How's it been so far? Your journey as a hot entrepreneur making her way after her studies, trying to pursue her dreams, you know, when you don't really have the budget. I'm talking for the both of us. And, you know, you really believe in yourself and you believe in this project, but you also have like people telling you, are you sure this is good enough, etc. How's it been for you so far?
Well, it'd be a lie if I said it wasn't so hard. It is so hard, but I'm very lucky to have a family that supports me, and I'm in nowhere in like a bad financial place. So I have my family that helps because I still live with my parents. So I mean, when I'm gonna move out, it's gonna be a whole different story. But as of now, I have the financial stability, I could say, that I need to be able to. If I have my family's support, which is super important for anyone to have support in this kind of career. I don't know how people who don't have it do without, because it's still so stressful, because I put so much pressure on myself, and it's really, like you said, like the industry is so difficult. You don't know how to get in. I've been working nonstop on this project after my studies for 2 years. So you have to be your own boss. You have to get up in the morning. You have to organize your days, your weeks. There's no more like vacation. It's just like an everyday thing. And really getting into that routine is so hard. I really just started getting into a good working routine this year, and I've been doing it for almost 2 years.
That's crazy. Honestly, I can vouch for that. It's gonna be almost a year. Well, not almost a year, but you know, we're midway through the year. Not midway, so it's gonna be in June. So 2 months. But oh my god, 2 months. It's crazy that like, you know, you go from like this routine every day. You work, school, you know, eat, sleep, repeat. And you know, we decided, both you and I, to stop our studies, break. Well, I decided to stop my studies for now, and you know, no work, whatever. But because we have started our projects, and that's where it kind of gets complicated as well, because you know, you have all your friends and you see everybody else who have routines. You know, every day they wake up, they have somewhere to go, they have a commute to do and everything.
Yeah.
And I really like doing that. So I used to love doing that, and now I wake up every day and I'm like, okay, so what do I do today? And that's where, like you said, putting a structure, feeling structured, having a certain schedule where each day you do something is so important, and it's really healthy, because if you don't do that, you could just be sleeping until 1 p.m. in the morning. Well, in the afternoon.
Yeah, having a routine really
and watching
really
Netflix.
helps.
You know, anybody could do that. We could all do that if we wanted to, but because
I'm always trying to work towards a goal. I'm not good at deadlines unless I have a real one. That means that sometimes I've like set up like goals of release dates and stuff of things I'm supposed to do, and I never stick to them because things usually take more time than I'm willing to admit that they will. So yeah, working towards a goal, of course, because when you're working without that goal, it's so hard. Because with my friend who I work with, who's a producer, we used to work on songs and not really know where we would be going, and that meant that we were working for weeks at a time on one song, and it was draining. So at one point we were like, okay, this has to stop. We have to know how long we're gonna work on a song. So we said, okay, we do like 1 week on this one, and then at the end it has to be a demo. And not like work on like some stupid details. Well, they're never stupid, but on smaller details, and not really know where it's going. So we set up like this goals of doing one song a week, which worked really, really nicely because we had like that thing of going like, okay, at the end of these 2 work days, it has to be done. So yeah, I think setting up goals is super important, especially doing what we do.
Yeah, 100%.
But it can be a bigger picture, you know. It's not like, okay, tomorrow you have to get this done. It's like, you know, at a certain point of the year you're gonna have to have done that.
Yeah, you have to, like, you're not just working up in the air for like nothing, you know. You have to be like, okay, well, I'm setting myself up a goal, and X amount of time, then this has to be done, or I have to have this by then. Like, I try to do that. I used to be very, like, because I'm very impatient in life, that's one thing you have to know about me, I'm very impatient. When I started the magazine, I'll get into that in another podcast episode, but something, like, with me that's always been there is that I'm very impatient, and, like, I want to release stuff right away. Like, I'm like, okay, this has got to go, like, we're doing this now, like, go, go, go. But the thing is, like, sometimes, like, I could just be like, this can wait, you know. People are not gonna go away just because I'm releasing it a week later or 2 weeks later. Like, people do not absolutely care for when it's released. They're gonna be there and support. It's just, you know, it's just gonna be later. And for example, fun fact, the magazine's edition number 5 was supposed to come out today.
Oh.
And I wasn't ready. 2 weeks ago, I was like, well, this can't be happening. Like, I'm not ready at all. And for once in my life, I was like, all right, you're going to let it go, and you're going to be like, put less pressure on yourself and post it later. Like, upload and launch the thing later. And that's totally okay, because at the end of the day, people are going to show up, you know. It's just all in the head.
Yeah, but I think there needs to be like a good balance of both.
There needs to be a good balance of both to, like...
Because if you're too much in the, okay, it's okay if I'm late, then you're not going to end up doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you put too much pressure, you're going to want to die.
Yeah, true.
So it's like a balance.
There's a fine line. You have to, you know, find a balance between that. But yeah, it used to, when I remember when I was launching it as edition number 2, I was rushing, like, mental breakdown, and I was like, oh my god, like, people are waiting and blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, nobody cares when you're putting it out.
Yeah.
You know?
It depends if,
it depends
already
what
announced.
it is, and if you're already announced, and everything like that, and sometimes it would just be so hard. But anyway, I've learned my lesson, and obviously, as a person working for myself, well, with this magazine, I'm not making any money of it yet, but it can be really hard, you know, because we...
But I've learned not to speak on things unless I know for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I've stopped saying, okay,
but
my album is coming out then, because I've been saying that for like 5-6 years. My EP is coming out soon. Well, it's been 6 years and we still haven't heard it.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm gonna shut up unless I really know.
It's like influencers are like, oh my god, working on a project, coming out real soon, and everybody's just tired of hearing oh, real soon. Like, we understand it's coming out real soon. You know.
Because we're like, okay. And then the time it comes out, you're like, oh, I didn't even remember.
Exactly. So I'd rather hear it like a day before, or like 2 days before, and then have it released, you know. And sometimes I should think like that. But the impatient in me was like, you need to get this out. Like, you need to get this out. This is fun, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because I'm too excited. I hate making people wait. So I'm always just like...
But that's where the patience comes in. You
exactly.
Need to be patient.
I need to be patient. And I'm trying to learn that, especially this year. And I'm being like less, you know, pressuring on myself. And it can be complicated, you know, doing stuff like that. And trying to challenge yourself. But that's the things about working for yourself or being a hot entrepreneur. You know, like I could, if I was like Taylor Swift, I would never be able to be patient or sleep at night. Because imagine she probably has all her music stacked up somewhere, waiting for it to release.
And she probably has hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Exactly, and she hasn't released them yet. Where is it? Give it to us, And I could just never do that because I'll be like, here you go.
Yeah, it's hard to have material and not to have.
It's hard because you want to share with everybody. You want to be like, here you go. This is what I've been working on for X amount of years.
Yeah, but then when it comes out, you're disappointed. Well,
there's always that little disappointment of like,
I'm always disappointed.
I could do better. Could have done better. Could have done this. Like even the magazine edition, I'm really proud of it because it's the first project, etc. We released one paper edition for the magazine last year, and I know I could have done like something.
There's always something
better.
to learn.
There's always something to learn, and that's totally okay. But the whole like, oh, I could have done something better, or I could have done this better, is like.
But if you hadn't done those mistakes, you wouldn't.
Exactly, I would have not learned. So you live, you learn.
There's always like I'm sure like even Taylor Swift or like the biggest magazine journalist or editor makes mistakes and releases something and says, damn, I should have done this that way.
Yeah.
Because like, I think it doesn't really matter like your level of success because like in the end we're all literally just the same.
Yeah, we're all the same.
And
we don't realize that enough.
Yeah. Because we're just the same and like they're gonna have the same doubts as us, like just starting out. It's just it's not a different scale. It's a different scale.
It's a different scale, but
like when I say, oh, I hope this song is gonna get 1,000 streams, and Taylor Swift is like, oh, I hope I'm gonna sell 5 million.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, same feeling, just not the same numbers.
Not the same numbers because we are not Taylor Swift, but we might have the next Taylor Swift right next to us.
Well, I hope.
You might be listening to the next Taylor Swift. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, we put so much pressure. We give so much of ourselves. We're so into our project that when it comes out, sometimes we can be like, oh, well, that's it. Like, all this for that? Like, sometimes it is.
So
it can be really so underwhelming.
Because you want people to understand how much of yourself you put into that. And how many hours and efforts, all the research. But in the end, they don't really care that you put so much time in it. They're like, is it good? Okay, don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not, well, whatever. Like,
Yeah, but in the end, if you put like all
that
you
you put the effort, that's what matters.
Yeah.
You should be proud. Always be proud of what you do.
And hopefully even if people just come around.
Yeah, people will always come around. Even if it's, just the beginning. If you're listening to this and you have a project in mind or you're doing something and like, sometimes you just gotta let things be. I think a lot of people need to trust the process of it all. It's really hard saying that when you want numbers, when you want growth, as you and I, like, we want people to follow us. We want people to be behind us and be like, okay, I like what you're doing, like, and sometimes, like, it's hard, because we just want everything to go so fast, and we want a career like Emma Chamberlain. Well, not the same career, but
I think we want numbers, we want success, but I don't think we realize too often the amount, like the stress that comes
behind success.
Because right now, what you do has no impact on anyone except yourself. And then when you're gonna have the success and the numbers and the people behind 100%. You, the employees, the managers, and all that, there's so much pressure.
Yeah, there is pressure.
You have to put out something, and that something is gonna make money.
And there's people waiting, and it's gonna make money for you. It's gonna make money for people. There's deadlines and everything. And now we're sitting on bed like, oh, chillax. So
I think that there's also a good part in beginning, because
it is.
The only person to satisfy is yourself. And the only person to put pressure on yourself is yourself. I think it's going to be different once
we'll have this talk in like 5 years from now. We'll be like, shit.
And we're going to be in a burnout.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not. But, burnout culture is also very stressful, and you see so many YouTubers and celebrities being like, I'm burned out, y'all. See you in 3 years.
Who isn't, honestly?
Who isn't? I think we are all coming down to this, like, I've had enough. I want to, change it up. And it's nice to see people, changing things up, changing their lives up, and doing stuff differently, and living for them, and doing something they're passionate about. Because I don't really know a lot of people that do stuff like us, like that said, okay, here's what I'm doing, like, this is my project, follow me, take it or leave it, and
no, because it takes a lot of courage.
Because it takes a lot of courage.
And it also takes a lot of privilege.
It does, and we are lucky.
Friends from my music school, like, most of them can't. And it's not that they didn't want to, it's they can't. Because they have to have a job to pay for their bills and food. And I think when we're in a place of privilege, like you and I with supportive parents, we don't have to worry about food or housing, you're inevitable, I don't know that word.
Inevitably.
Yeah, exactly. One step ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, we are. And we are very lucky and grateful for that. Because, honestly, if I, like, didn't have this apartment, lived somewhere else, etc., if my situation was different, this study break, forget it, I could have never done it. But I, like you said, I have the privilege and I can do stuff like that. I can give myself the time to think about what I want to do in my career and also take the time to work on my magazine. But I know a lot of people that would never be able to do that.
And it's not that they don't want to,
no,
it's that they can't.
Also because their parents might say they don't really, they might not have the support, it's not a real job. And we've heard that from our parents. We've heard, are you sure you're going to do this? Like, is this a thing? Is this work? Like,
They've never actually questioned me on that. Which
no,
I'm
but
really
like...
grateful about. They've always been like, is that what you want to do? I said yes, and they're like, okay, then you work for it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, work for it and make sure, are you sure it's going to get to where you
They've never doubted anything. They've just told me when I wasn't working well enough, I would say that I needed to do more. And that it wasn't going to happen if I just kept doing nothing. Yeah,
I think also parents just want the best for all of their kiddos. And sometimes it's normal, their act's a little bit different. But go for your dreams, Like, you never know what... Yeah, this sounds so stupid and cheesy to say, but what is tomorrow is made of, or in 5 years from now, So I think...
Yeah, and if there's one place in your life where you can take risks,
it's in your 20s,
literally your
right
early
now.
20s.
Yeah, do the risks.
That's always what I've thought. I'm like, I'm gonna try, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll have tried.
Yeah, at least you have tried. Because you never know until you try.
And the consequences, like right now, are the best, I'd say. Because if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. I'll go get another degree, and get another job, and I'll be like, okay, well, it didn't work out. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least I did it.
I think a lot of people are scared of that, and that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs like us don't think about, but we're not like, overthinking about it for like 300 years. We go for it, and a lot of people I think there's the fine line of being scared, and that's what I was saying in the Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway episode. There's so much outcome that could happen. There's so many things to figure out, sure, but all of that can be also figured out way down the line. Depends what it is, obviously, but it's not that deep and it's not that scary when you jump into it.
Yeah, you just have to
have to do it. And it's so cheesy to say and super simple,
but there's no other way.
Yeah,
I remember being 15 and really wanting to write a song. Had never done it before, and I kept putting it off. I was like, but how do you do it? How do you do it? I don't get it. How do you write a song? Mm-hmm. And of course, Google had no answers. So one day, I just tried. And it was as simple as that. Mm. And it sounds stupid, but unless you actually try to do it, it'll always be scary.
No, you have to be in the mindset of, okay, I want to do this, I have something in mind. Because if you're just, doing something for the sake of doing it...
That you're going to be bad at it.
Yeah, you're going to be bad at it.
Yeah.
We were both bad at what
I didn't write a hit song on the first time.
I didn't write the best edition.
And I still haven't.
It's probably in my next edition that's going to be better than the first one or whatsoever.
Yeah, that's okay.
But that's okay, and it's like for YouTube, the first video was the crappiest video I've ever made.
But it was the best. It was the best you could do with the knowledge you had.
The knowledge I had. And, later down the line, I got better at it. I'm doing pretty good. But there's always going to be better and better and,
And you have to do bad in order to do
good. Yeah, you have to do bad, for everything in life, Bad experiences can bring you or brings you to good experiences. It levels out the bad, brings out the good.
And there's that saying that you have to work 10,000 hours at something to become an expert.
Yeah, well,
10,000 hours is a long time.
That's a lot of hours right there, y'all.
Yeah, but I think that's like the actual scientifically proven hour that you're supposed to be doing something in order to be considered an expert, which I think is really cool.
Sure.
I don't think I've done 10,000 hours.
Don't think I've done 10,000.
It's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours. A lot to think about and calculate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, what else? What's one advice we can give to people as us young entrepreneurs, you know, for people who have a project, an idea? Well, I mean, I think we could just give them already, you know, to just go for it. But
yeah, just go for it. Don't be scared to reach out.
Surround yourself with good people.
And there's so much content on the internet to help. You can do anything with the internet.
Yeah.
That it be YouTube, there's so much tutorials on basically anything, and so many online classes too.
Yeah, there's a lot of online classes, you know, master classes.
You can learn anything
Sign
on
up
the
for
internet.
all this stuff.
And you don't even have to learn to get into something.
No, you don't.
I knew nothing about music when I started writing music. I knew nothing. Had never taken a music class, never taken a singing lesson, never knew how a software worked. I just went for it, and I was like, whatever, I'll figure it out one day.
Yeah.
And I did. You don't have to be good at something to start.
You don't have to be good at something, yeah.
You don't have to be good at it to like it.
Yeah. I was never good at, I never did journalism back in my life. I never anything like that. Was never a writer or anything. But hey, I ended up launching my own magazine and guess who's writing the articles.
I used to say as a kid that I was not the musician kid in the house. Like both of my sisters did music. My mom used to do piano, and I used to say, "Oh, everybody does music but me." And look who does music now.
Who does music now? See?
Yeah.
So first of all, we never say never.
Never say never.
You never know what's gonna happen to you. And surround yourself with good people. When you're starting a project, you need to have the right people besides you, because that's really important.
Yeah.
And you need to start yourself with good moral support as well. But that's
in fact, people who want to gatekeep.
Yeah.
And that don't want to help because you're starting out, because people tend to forget where they start.
Yeah.
Where they started. And if those people give you a hard time, just let them go.
Yeah, and
you'll find someone better.
Yeah, exactly. Surround yourself with passionate people that want to do good stuff with you and that
want to help.
That want to help you and that have a brain that is ready to give all the ideas, and that's really important. You know, in our day and age. Anyway, so I think we're gonna end the episode here.
All right.
Because that's been a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video version. It's kind of been funny staring at the camera and then staring back here.
Yeah.
This is the first time I do a video episode. I said I was going to do them more. More. This is the first, but I will definitely do more of these because I know some people don't have any of these streaming platforms, which is really funny to think about that. No, some people don't have Spotify. Some people don't have Apple Music.
Yeah, it really feels like, oh my god, grow up.
Please, how do you buy music? How do you listen to music?
A lot of people listen on YouTube. YouTube is the biggest platform. It's the biggest social media platform.
Yeah, but that's so sad. You have to,
I know.
There's people out there that have the premium. Think about it. I'm pretty sure people pay for the premium subscription of YouTube Premium.
Yeah, well, I pay for the Spotify Premium, so it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but YouTube Premium.
But isn't YouTube Premium better because you get movies too?
I don't know. Maybe. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think so. I think you get movies.
I'm not sure.
And TV shows.
I'm not sure. But anyway, YouTube Premium, get Spotify, please. You don't want to...
Listen to the podcast on Spotify.
Hot girls don't want Spotify. Hot girls want Spotify Wrapped. That's what they want. Do you know who's your most listened to artist? Which mine was Taylor Swift.
I actually don't know because my my Spotify app on my phone works really bad. I don't know why, and it wouldn't show me. So I have no idea, but it's probably Taylor Swift. Let's be honest.
Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, which is really interesting, Ariana Grande, and Billie Eilish. We had all these females.
Yeah, I probably have Taylor and Olivia.
Yeah, probably.
But I was really frustrated because everyone shares them and it wouldn't work on
Yeah,
mine.
everybody shared them. Anyway.
But my Spotify app is broken. I don't know why.
That sucks for you. Anyway, Daphne, if you want to follow Daphne and her future projects, all of the above will be linked down below.
Yes, it
Go
will.
check her out. She's doing amazing. She's gonna kick ass, and she probably will be on your TV screen one day. You'll be like, oh my god, I listened to a podcast of this woman. Wow, yeah. We are waiting for that. We are so excited. I hope you guys have a lovely, ugly day, because it's technically really ugly out here in Paris.
I hope the weather's better where you are,
let's hope for that. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a gorgeous day. Thank you for listening to us. And I'll see you guys soon for another episode next week. Au revoir. Bye bye.
Bye bye.